Hey y'all, I'm glad you found the video. If you are here, we are now experiencing a flipped classroom. Congratulations. This is a new thing we're just trying out, and basically the point is to take care of some of the instruction at home for homework. That way, when we come to class, we're just ready to work. And so today the way we're going to use that is that we are going to talk a little bit about these artist statements for your Reader's Gallery of Art, and then you'll write up just a draft of your artist statement and bring it to class next time. And then in class, we'll do some in-class revision with these and make sure we're all on the right track. Okay, so this is my artist statement. Remember when I showed you my artwork in class and I read aloud my artist statement? This is the same one. So you're already familiar with this one a little bit, and so I'm just going to kind of point out things that I did. It'd probably be smart for you to take notes right now. That way, when you start writing your draft of your artist statement, you can kind of have something to base it off of. So, pretty typical. Up here we've got the header. Obviously, most of y'all do that, but just in case you don't, go ahead and do that. Then right off the bat, I'm talking about Reader's Gallery of Art, so we know exactly what this is for, what I'm doing this for. And then we have the medium. So I was doing a painting, but this is where you would put sculpture or photography, or I made jewelry. That's where this is going to go right from the beginning, so we know exactly where you're going. A little bit like a thesis statement, just so that the people who are visiting your art or reading your artist statement aren't confused in the least. And so then right after that, I put the literature that I'm referring to. And so you need to do that as well. We need to know exactly what you're responding to. And then I talked a little bit more about my painting, and you'll notice that I have the title here. And that's pretty important because the whole untitled thing isn't going to fly. You are creating art for a very specific purpose, responding to something very intentionally from some literature you've read. And so likewise, it needs to have a very meaningful title. It will probably play off of whatever you're basing it on from the literature. So, that's pretty self-explanatory, but just to cut out all the gray area, there's that. And then in this section right here, I'm responding to the literature, and I'm going through my thought process as I was reading it. And I'm talking about the effect it had on me, and what it made me feel. And it was then at the end I sum up that it's that thing that in the literature, that's what I'm responding to. So just to recap, in this first little bit, we know what we're doing this for, we know what I'm responding to, what medium I'm responding in, we have the title of my artwork, and we have kind of this introductory to the literature. Just in case the person who's reading this hasn't read the same thing you have, you can kind of get a sense for what it was. You'll remember y'all haven't read For Colored Girls, but in this little paragraph here, I make it pretty clear what it's about, and what stood out to me, and the reasons why I responded in the way that I did. And so then we came down here, and I'm talking very literally about how I responded to it. I'm talking about the portrait that I made, and I only use the colors of the characters, and the reasons why too, which is really important, so that it's a symbolic choice there. This is also specific to my artwork, but you need to do whatever is specific to your artwork. Remember, so it's not going to look exactly like this. This is just to kind of get the thoughts flowing, so that you can see there at home as you're drafting this and reminding yourself what all needs to be in there. And then here I talked a little bit about actually how I created what it looks like. And so yeah, then down here, let's see, then I go on, and here's my thought process for creating the art. And I think this adds a lot to what's happening here. We have some ideas that I had, but I didn't like it. It wasn't communicating the right idea. And it's just kind of how you arrived at the choices that you did. And then down here, we're kind of summing it up with that I'm going actually back to this quote that I had up here at the very beginning. I was missing something, and that was the part that it stood out to me, remember, in this first bit. And so, but then I bring that back down again here, and I'm explaining exactly how I commented on the part that it stood out to me. And then I describe, you know, how in my artwork I did that, and that's where you would describe where in your artwork you did that. Anyways, this is just a really quick look over of what an artist statement can look like. So go ahead and you can replay this video as many times as you need, you know, retake notes, whatever. And then go ahead and draft something. And it doesn't, this was my final copy, remember? So it doesn't have to be as perfect as, not that this is perfect, obviously, but it doesn't have to be as completed as this, rather, because we're going to do some work with it in class. But this is just kind of a starting point. That way we can all be on the same page when we come to class tomorrow. So go ahead and you can stop watching this and go ahead and draft. I look forward to seeing what y'all have. Thanks for trying this out with me.